is going on, girl? Come on. Dang, calm on your birthday? Who does that? Like, it's my party. I can cry if I want to. All right, you
That's
guys.
right.
Yes.
Cry if I want to.
Good cry.
Loans will make you cry at times.
They do, good and bad. After they, when you close and you got to pay those tax dollars, like, oh man, crying.
Thank you for the love on Facebook.
Of course, yes. All right, I got some questions for you guys. You guys ready for some questions today? You're like, man, it's Friday. I don't want any crap from you, Scott. Get on out of here. All right. First question, number one, and I need your participation. This is Jeopardy. What percentage of homeowners in the U.S. move within 5 years of buying their house?
You want that in the chat?
Yeah, man. 45%. All right. Okay, and the answer is 40%. Really close, Jeff. Really close. Awesome.
You're kidding.
No, 40.
It's still that high.
Yeah, well, within 5 years.
Wow.
Okay, here's a question. If you save $20 a week by cutting out a small expense, how much money will you have after 10 years? $20 a week, 10 years. Over $10,000. Woohoo! Is that crazy? All right, more fun facts. What year, this is a tough one, what year was the 30-year fixed rate mortgage first introduced into the U.S.?
1933.
Not that long ago. Any guesses? 58, close, really close. 58, 45, 58, 45. It was 1954.
I thought it was the New Deal. Who said 1933?
I don't know.
Did, Brian.
I thought because FHA was the first 30-year mortgage, right, Brian?
That's what I thought. But, after having to go through that NMLS test 15 years ago, I think that's about the only thing I remember, but I'm not sure.
All right.
It's like one of my people told me, I've forgotten more than you'll ever know about the mortgage business.
There you go.
He proved that to me every day.
All right. How many homes does the average American buy in their lifetime? I think this is important. The answer is 3.
7.
3. Deanne got it. 3. So yeah, just think about that. When you do one, you might have a chance to do 2 more. And the last one, if you have a $300,000 loan, every 1% change in interest rate changes your payment by about how much?
$200.
That's right on the money, man. 180 to 200. Yep. Okay, last one. What percentage of homeowners say they regret not buying sooner? These are stories you can use. Like what percent of homeowners say they regret not buying sooner? Greg, you cheated, man. Did you cheat? 70% is right on the money, honey. All right, cool. We ready for Friday? Everybody ready? Anybody have a success story they want to share before we get started today? From the week? Is everybody really shy?
I do.
Jennifer, what you got?
Do you remember that 10? It was a 10-word email.
Yep, 9-word, 10-word. Yep.
So I sent out 100 of them.
Nice.
And I did get one guy actually write back and ask questions. It doesn't mean the other people won't do it, but it was an interesting.
1 out of 100. Yeah, cool. So only one responded?
Yep, that's all I got.
What was the text?
Let's see here. Find it. It's not a text, it's an email.
Oh, an email. Okay, okay.
It's called the 10-word email.
Gotcha.
And the subject is, because these were cold leads.
Okay. Love it.
And the subject was, come on, where did it go?
Hey, one response from a cold lead is good, I guess. Yeah, that's good. All right.
Okay. Are you,
Go ahead.
let's see.
Are you still
The
interested?
subject is still looking.
Okay.
And the body of the text is, are you still looking to buy a home in ?
Okay. You know, some games I like playing is to a cold list like that. Send a congratulations email saying, hey, congratulations on your new home. Is there any questions I can answer for you?
Really? And they're going to write back and say, I don't have a new home,
I didn't.
right?
Yeah, that's the hope. Yeah, like play devil. Like so, I've done that before. Where I'm like, hey, I just want to wish you, and I just want to say congratulations on your new home. Hope all is well. Hope your unbox is all gone and you're having fun enjoying that backyard. I didn't get one yet. Got one. Got one. So reverse psychology, right? All right. So I want to talk about hourly wage today. We did this, man. I did this exercise yesterday, and it was kind of mind blowing to think about and do the exercise. It's been a long time since I've done it. Has anybody here's what I would do once you do this exercise. Let's just break this down. How much do you make on average per loan? Let's just go across the board. Like per average loan size per loan. So it's $4,000. I mean, we used to use $2,000 all the time. That's way too low. I think, is it closer to 4? Because the average loan size across the U.S. 400 on average. Would that be fair? So if you're making 100 bips, $4,000. All right. And so you got 2008. Does everybody know 2080? Everybody know what 2000? So you got 40 hours a week times 52. 40 times 52. Yeah, so 2080. So let's just use 40 hours a week for 52 weeks. And then here's what I used to do. I used to deduct vacation. So how many have taken a week off this year? So that's 40 hours. So 2080, 2040, now we're down to 2020, right? So if you take whatever you made last year, whatever you made year to date, you can do it by the months. I think this is important. So once you have that number, and let's just say you made 2,050. Let's say you made 250,000. Okay, divided by, and I'm going to say you took a week off, so I'm going to say 2040. It's $122 an hour. All right. So the question I always like to ask, and here's what I'd recommend, is I'd put that on your phone. So when you go to pick up a phone and put it on your computer, when you go to do something, that's actual work. Like fun time, free time doesn't count. That's not part of the equation. But when you're going to do something and you're going to work on something, you're going to a project, is it $122 an hour? Now, the more you make, the more you do this and the more you focus on this, the more you're going to make per hour. Now, if you're only doing 2 hours of work per day in generating, you're doing, because, I mean, does anybody not know the Pareto's law? Like, what's the 20% that makes you 80% of your money? Right? So a 20% of an 8-hour day is 1.6 hours. So if you spend the 20% that makes you 80% of your money, right? I wonder if I can, hold on right here. Hold on one second. It's not what I want. Let's see now. So let me see here if I can do this. I haven't done this in a long time. Let's see. Advanced. All right, never mind. I'll just pass on it. I'll figure it out later. What I was going to do is draw for you. But so if you figure out what's the 20% that makes me 80% of my money, so that's hour and so can I do it in an hour and a half per day? And if you think about this, likes, comments, that the success plan that I put up for everybody yesterday that I talked about. So it's at mlolive.com/fam. And I'm just going to pull it up really quick. And so, whoops, that's not working for some reason. Why is that? It worked yesterday. Let me see here. Let me just pull it up here. Hold on one sec. There we go. I don't know. It works. Okay, there you go. There you go, Jerry. Thank you. All right. So if you pull this up, screen share. And I want to go over this really quick. So if you did 10 likes, 10 comments, happy birthday videos. If you don't do the happy birthday video, still do a happy birthday to them. 10 calls per day to past database or phone contacts, 10 calls to old leads, thinking of you text messages. So you're touching 10, 20, 25, 30, 40, 50, 60 in one email per week. You're touching 60 people, like 55 to 60 people per day. This should, if you literally do nothing else and you literally say, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to block on my calendar, I'm going to do these things, it's not going to take you an hour and a half. It's at the most will take you an hour and a half. And that's why I build it this way. And I know this for a fact because I know a lady that does it on a daily basis. She's been doing it for years. She does 10 to 12. She does the likes. She even adds postcards into this, handwritten postcards. She does 5 handwritten postcards to somebody that she talked to yesterday or somebody that she hasn't sent something to in a while. Okay. So if you're touching 60 people per day, you're going to have more opportunities or less opportunities?
They not like us. They not.
Right? I mean, you guys with me? Is everybody awake yet? Do we need to come back in an hour? I'm going to beat some ass. Wake up.
More.
Thank you. You're going to have more, a lot more, right? A lot more. You have a lot more? If you're touching 60 people per day, you can have a lot more or just a little bit more?
A lot more.
How many is that per month? Unbelievable, right?
1,800.
Yeah,
Actually,
dude.
no business days. So.
Yeah, so if you spend an hour and a half per day, now I don't care what you do the rest of the day, but like if you do the hour and a half of that right there, can you farm out, delegate, get rid of the rest? And hire somebody else to do everything else? Makes sense? But if you don't do this, then you can't afford to delegate everything else. So now you're the one doing it all. I had somebody that I talked to yesterday, no names, but she said she processes her files every once in a while. And so he said, how many hours does it take to process a file? And she's like, I don't know, 5 to 7 hours. I'm like, okay, then how much? Then we did how much you make. And then like, okay, it's costing you this much money to process that file. You with me? So like, it's costing you like, so, and here's the crazy part about the likes, the comments, the happy birthday videos, the emails. If you look at that list, let's just go over this because I think this is a big deal. What of this can you farm out? Can you farm out the likes? Can you farm out the comments? Can you farm out the happy? You can't do the videos. You can't farm out. But if you just do the regular birthday videos, can you delegate that out? So if all you did was the calls, the text messages, you could almost farm out. And whoever is you is touching, it looks like you're touching 60 people per day because somebody can log in for you as you inside of Facebook, right? You could add the LinkedIn list to that and you can go the likes of the LinkedIn stuff. So does this make sense? Like this is where, as a business owner, we have to look at how much it's costing us to do what in the time that we're spending doing it. And is the time we're spending doing it worth the time that we're spending to do it? Make sense? It's pretty insane when you think about it this way. And then but here's the thing is you got to put it somewhere where you see it, wherever you work. So maybe it's a screensaver on your computer. Maybe it's a screensaver on your phone. It's like, okay, is this the best use of my time right now that's going to provide me future wealth, future success, future freedom? Doing those activities. Somebody says, I'm getting my database together. Is that the best use of your time? Or is it just pick up the phone and start calling your database? Like the organizational part, I swear to you, I walked in, I don't know why I remember this. It just came up. I walked into a real estate, I went to his house. And we had a meeting at his house and I said, show me what you're working on. So I look at his computer and he's got 3 different tabs open, 3 different sets of databases. And he's like, I'm trying to figure out how to organize all my different lead sources, database and all that stuff, and 3 different lead sources. So that's and I've seen other computers and like when people share their screen, I see other things going on when we're trying to sort stuff. Put it into one database, one CRM. All right. Cool.
Okay, I gotta ask a question.
Who's? Oh, Deanne. Okay, yeah, cool. I'm sorry, I didn't see your box light up.
That's okay. Can you hear me? I know my microphone is behind me.
Yeah, no, I got you good.
I am really struggling with this CRM thing.
Okay.
And one of the main reasons why is because unless you get like a super, super expensive one that like washes your dishes and gives you massages and everything else, you know, you kind of like have to kind of like build a bear. When you guys talk about CRM, and remember, I come to you because I want to learn how to sell. I want to learn how to market. I want to learn how to follow up.
Mm-hmm.
So what exactly are you guys using your CRM for? Because I found a CRM that I could afford. The CRM emails, it keeps track of information.
What is it?
I use Biggin, and I kind of like it. It's simple.
Okay.
But I'm just like, so do you? I feel stupid asking this question.
No, it's not. No, this is the number one thing for salespeople. This is truly the hardest thing for salespeople. So, and I just figured this out. So Brad helped me figure this out. So I use Go High Level. I don't know how much Biggin is. How much is Biggin? Oop.
Sorry about that. I thought I was in what you call it.
Yeah. How much?
Say it one more time.
How
Scott.
much is your CRM?
Well, mine is only $9.99 a month.
Okay.
But the only thing that I need to do is just house all these contacts because I've got so many, but they're all over the place.
Okay. An Excel spreadsheet does that though.
Not only keep track of them,
okay,
but like, do I send them messages? You know what I mean? Like, I'm really wondering. Everybody throws that word around so much, CRM.
Mm-hmm.
But what's the proper use of it? Like, what's the daily use of it?
Cool. No, I love this topic. So the daily use is one, in in Go High Level, I can email from it at any point in time. I can email one. I emailed 3,000 people this morning. So I can call from it. There's a dialer that's attached to it. So I can call one-offs, like each individual person, or I can call a bunch of people if I put them into a list through a wave dialer. And then I can text from it. So I can email, text, and call from it. And then it has opportunities where like we have different opportunities where I'll show you what I'm talking about. So the big thing I think that was a huge light bulb for me is when you call somebody and you have a conversation, and it's whether it's a past client, current client, old lead, whatever it is, and they say, "Hey, Scott, I'm not going to do anything until February, right? Or I need to work on my credit." Okay, how long do you think it's going to take you? Well, they said about 60 days, 90 days. So what I used to do is like I'd create a task or I'd put in a calendar. How do I keep track when to call them, right? And so what this system has done is it's allowed me to, and I'm just going to throw it in here. So it's allowed me to have different, okay, so here's the opportunities. So it has lead, prospect, on hold, 1003 complete, pre-qualified, pre-approved, disclosure. So I just started this 2 weeks ago. These are all the leads that I got from a real estate office in Texas. So there's 22, I don't know. If I was to close all of them, it's 13 million in production. So that's all the leads coming in. So I have an AI bot tied to it, but here's the kicker part. Excuse me. Is when I log into a lead, okay? And these are all like there's email list buyer leads, call list buyer leads, so whatever, and then I have prospects. So they go from a buyer lead to a prospect. At first, they're just a lead, and so they're a cold lead. But when they come into, okay, hey Scott, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do or I have a conversation and I feel there's something there. I'll move them into a prospect list. And so again, I just started using this 2 weeks ago, and I'm like in heaven with it. So what I would do is let's just open up Anita. And so inside of each one of their files, I have all their information. I can ask them, I can text them right here. I can WhatsApp if I want. I can email them if I want, or I can call them if I want. So here's their number. Here's the wave dialer, but here's just their number. If I click this, it's just going to call them. And then the cool part is once this is created, there's all different kinds of things I can do. I can move it into an automation. I can move it into depending on what it is. But I'm going to go to one of the people that was actually talking to me, and I'm going to show you something. And so when I have a conversation with somebody, as soon as this comes up here, Zoom always drags. All right. So I'm going to open up to this one right here. Okay. So I'm going to view this opportunity. So in this opportunity, it's right now it's a lead, and she goes, "Hey, I need to work on my credit, but man, I definitely want to buy a home. It's probably going to be February, March, April, whatever, next spring." Okay, cool. So one, I'm going to mark it as a prospect, and I'm going to save. So it's going to move it from the lead section to the prospect section, right? Which is a beautiful thing. Then I'm going to do. There's this thing. Whoops. Okay, so I'm going to log into her. Let me just go find her. There's this thing called, and I'll just do it right here. There's this thing called next. Once they're a prospect, if they're a lead or a prospect, there's this thing called next. So next, and it pulls up next follow-up, which then I'm going to put in here a date. It's like, all right, she said February, November, February. This is how this one works. So let's just say April. So I'm going to call her April 1st. I'm going to crown April Fool's Day and say, hey, you're approved. Like, because that'd be kind of fun. April Fool's. And I love what Kim said. You're approved, just not right now. And then I'm going to hit. And then if I come down here and hit save, and I got to make sure she's under the actual prospect. But if I click save, now it's not even going to show up in my call log until April 1st. Does that make sense? So then I go to my contact list. And I go to the call list, and as you build this out, like people just start popping up. And so the first thing you do at 9 a.m., 10 a.m., depending on what time zone, 9 a.m., 10 a.m., you hit on your call log, and you go, who am I supposed to call today? And then the notes are in there of you keep track of these, so because there's notes. And let's just say she said over here, this is her profile. So I'm going to take a note, and she said that she wanted to buy working on credit and wants to buy next spring 2026. Click save. When I call her, I have my notes right there. I call her. I was like, hey, Anita, we talked last, whatever. Or if I want to drip her some emails, I could do that. Or if I wanted to call her every day, if I wanted to, I could do that. But I'm not going to call her again because I know she's working on her credit. Does that make sense? So you have to have a way to track who you're supposed to call, when you're supposed to call them. If they're leads, you just call them all the time until they, what I call, buy, die, or opt out. And that's the power behind Go High Level, is setting up those automations so that you know who to call, when to call, and why to call, because you have the notes inside there.
Okay,
So
that was mind blowing, because while you were doing it, I pulled up Biggin, and I didn't even notice these little things, these little words and stuff that were up here. I can do all of that in here. So
Perfect.
That actually gives me so much clarity.
Yeah.
So when I do my 20 contacts or my 20 calls a day,
yep,
I'm going to do them inside of my
100%.
CRM
100%.
so that it can remind. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
That was probably the best explanation I had on what the frick a CRM is for, because it's been a very frustrating point for me.
How do you spell Biggin? I just don't want to.
Bigin.
Okay. Okay. Well, okay. I missed it by
What are you trying to accomplish with your CRM? Like, what's your goal?
So you're gonna put me on the spot like that, right, Martin?
Well, I'm trying to. I'm asking from a place of, I've done everything right, everything wrong with the CRM.
Mm-hmm.
I've purchased every single one out there. I've learned so much about it, and it's super interesting. But in the end, like, what are you trying to accomplish? Because what I've learned with CRMs now that I've used them over the last 5 years is that it just tells me what to do. Meaning, I'm telling myself what to do tomorrow, the next day, the day after, for 5 years. Like, it literally just, I'm telling myself what to do. And that's what the CRM has done. It's translated what I want to do into what I'm supposed to do and when I'm supposed to do it. So, and you can do that with the most basic CRM. You just have to understand what it is that you're trying to accomplish with it. And if you do, set that up in your calendar so that all you're doing is showing up to your CRM. And that's the most important part. Every day, morning, afternoon, it should always be open. And it should be your point of contact with every person, every interaction, every phone call, every person that you talk to should be in your CRM.
What did you say?
And if you do that, you would be amazed at everything Scott's talking about with the amount of people you talk to. All those conversations are sitting in front of you. And when you pull them up, it's amazing when people are referred to, by the last interaction, all the information that you know about them.
Yeah.
It's people are super connected once you remembered? It's been a couple years. Yeah. We talked 2 years ago. I know we were waiting on your taxes to get, filed and prepared, and, we're coming up on it. It's November. I just wanted to see if you're still on track for that so that we can get you, apt here in January after you prepare your 2 years of self-employed taxes that you didn't do. Whatever that looks like, those conversations look like they just happened yesterday to them. And for you, it's just one phone call that you were told to make a year ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's what that CRM does. It just puts you back in front of people like you never stopped talking to them.
So that was amazing, because once you guys are just simplifying this for me. At first, Martin, I was all over the place. Because I do webinars, I've probably got about 25 to 30 Excel spreadsheets. Because what happens when you do a webinar, you download. So I'm trying to keep track of all these Excel spreadsheets. I'm trying to keep track of. So what Biggin did for me is it put all of that information in one place for me. And now that I know about these little, I can't believe Scott, when I tell you, if it was a snake, it would have bit me. Everything that you're saying is right there.
Yeah.
But until you kind of showed me your CRM, the trigger, the switch didn't hit for me. So Martin, everything that you just said is what I'm trying to do. I know it's not a magician or some type of thing that's gonna make me, but what it does do is it gives me a place. It's my Grand Central Station. Does that make sense? Because I can connect it to my calendar.
Has to be. Yeah.
How many people do you have in there?
Oof. So, what do you guys call them? Warm leads and cold leads?
No, just people.
Just
how many contacts?
Just how many people in there?
Over 75,000.
Okay, 75,000 people in spreadsheets as well.
It was, but I've uploaded all of them. I've been doing that for the past week.
Do you have them labeled in your spreadsheet as something specific? And the reason I'm asking is because you can't talk to 75,000 people.
Right.
You can't bulk text 75,000 people. You can't bulk email them unless you do it through a third party. But my question is so that you can figure out who to start talking to, so that you know how to segment that database for, warm, cold, and just whatever. And they start getting information from you, and you can organize your database. It's the hardest thing to do. But if you don't stop and do that, the rest of what you're doing is like you're just running the air conditioning with the windows open. You got a lot of people that you're not talking to. And
so I've got 3,000. I've got 3,000 warm, and then the other ones are quote unquote cold. And so the warm ones are the ones that I'm actually calling on the phone. And then the other ones are the ones that I'm kind of saying, hey, I've got a free webinar coming up, or hey,
got it.
I can meet this need or that need. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Scott mentioned numbers. So if you think about your dialing, the wave dialer is super amazing, right? You could go to triple line and dial a bunch of people really fast and get through a lot. So what does your business look like on how you're going to contact the people? 3,000 people is a lot of people to call. 75,000 is impossible for one person to call. So by the time you look at it, you got to figure out what it is that you're trying to accomplish so that you can hone in on that, because 75,000 is just too big. So you got to figure out what are you going to work on and how you're going to do it. Stop and just do that. Get that done, and then build on that system, that process, and then grow it.
I was feeling really good until you just said all that. Thanks, Mark.
You gotta stop.
Focus on the
you gotta stop.
Do it all inside there. Do it all inside there. Yeah. Focus on the 3,000 first and foremost. And then I would on a weekly basis start moving some of the other ones over to the warm. Once you talk to them, I would move them over to a warm, because now you have a connection with them. They know who you are. maybe you invited them to a webinar, but it does mass emails. I just looked at that. So mass emails like provide something of value all the time, right? Interview
but those
people.
Mass emails, it also, Scott, with that many people, if you don't segment your database or slow drip on those responses, you'll compromise your actual email.
100%.
And that is the worst thing to do with the CRM. And most people try to just shoot it out to everybody, and then you'll wonder why you're spam now and you're blocked. And the people you know will even be blocked. So don't compromise your email or your actual domain. And that's what happened with a lot of people.
I would make sure that if you're doing mass emails, that it has a some way, shape, or form takes them out, like Go High Level removes their email if they DND me, if they say I want out. It takes out their email, so I can't send them another email again. I can still call them, but I can't send them an email again. So it removes them from the automation or the email sequence where I can't do it. So make sure that it has different things in place to remove them from those, because the one thing you don't want, like Martine's saying, is the bounce rate will kill you. It'll like literally Google, Gmail, Yahoo, like they'll all like spam you, and it won't even go through. And you want like, what's happening? Nobody's getting my emails, and so that's where you got to be really careful. You're done. Yeah.
You can use a third party to do that as well, like a Constant Contact, MailChimp. You can use a lot of those for the cold stuff, and then bring in those that respond.
Or just go really slow, like figure out what kind of system they have see if there's email warming. A lot of systems now are coming up with the email warming. Go High Level has email warming, kind of walk you through it. And so just make sure you follow, like if you Google email warming, it'll kind of, depending on how old that email is, how old that domain is, like there's like research that. I can actually pull it up inside Go High Level for you. 1 second, I'll grab it. I'll grab this website. Email services.
It's a lot of info on the back end of stuff, but just the basics is, break down the 75K to something that's manageable, and then just start figuring out how to segment your database to what works.
So here's the link to the email warming inside of Go High Level, which is pretty much the same for every email service. But if you follow, you'll see that it has different days and how many per day and stage 1 stages, and it talks all about it. So there's a lot of homework you can do on that, but do your homework before you start mass emailing, because you like Martine said, you'll kill it really fast. All right. Any other questions before we head out, man? I got time. So anybody else? Dion, did that help?
Yes, and I'm back to being overwhelmed, but yes,
yeah, it's okay.
It does help. At least I have a direction to go into.
Yeah, no, I mean,
don't be.
Yeah, you already. This. Yeah. I mean, like it's easy to get overwhelmed with 75,000, but I think just like if you focus, like, how do I create an amazing experience for the 3,001 people that know, like, and trust me, because those 3,000 in your business will refer you another. If they referred you one in the next 12 months, that's another 3,000. So if you literally take care of those people who already know you, like you, trust you, lean on them, follow them on Facebook, like their stuff, happy birthday videos, all the basics, they'll become raving fans, and the raving fans refer you to other people. Cool. All right. Anybody else?
Yeah. Hey, Scotty.
Yeah.
You had talked about you have a VA that can go through and search all the phone numbers from all the past client stuff.
Yeah.
Can you resend that link or something? Because I'm definitely wanting to get that handled with some stuff I've got.
Hold on 1 sec.
And Dion, start small. Pick the ones that you would invite to your birthday.
Yeah.
Just start picking types of things. You invite them to your birthday. You would invite them to your wedding. You would invite them to Thanksgiving, or you would just say hi to them as you walk by the grocery store. And just find out where they want, and then focus on the ones that you like the most first, and then work it down from there.
That was so good. Thank you. That was good.
See if that link works. Just the ones you like. Yeah, trust. Yeah, like, yeah. If you don't,
it makes
like
life
them,
easy when you like each other,
right? Let me know if did that link work?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All righty. What else? Anything else?
I got a win for you there, Scott.
Let's hear it, brother.
So I don't know, maybe a week or two ago, or no, probably about a month ago, I got rid of one of my builders, right? So they were asking for a little bit too much, for what they wanted. They've kind of declined on how many houses they're building. So normally they would be building, 100, 120 houses a year. I would staff an office with, to keep it open so people could walk in. But they started declining down to, on average, it looks like from what they said they were going to build to what they're building, they're down to about 30 houses. So looking at what they're doing, it's still, is a decent amount of money, but